And I'll go now into a little bit about the email side of it and how you can bucket different buyers into different stages. And there's a lot of different ways to kind of think about how to segment it out. And I'll give you some of the more popular ones without going too in depth. That will be maybe a separate webinar about how to go super in depth on your segmentation. But by segmenting in different buckets, you can really measure life cycle migrations over time, right? You can start seeing that, hey, how many, non-buyers or subscribers on our list ended up becoming a one-time buyer? And then how many one-time buyers end up becoming a repeat buyer? And then how many repeat buyers end up becoming a lost buyer? Whatever it may be, you're able to kind of track that migration and flow and then act accordingly, right? Of course, if you see trends, you can jump out ahead of it. So, one of the areas to start with is just build out segments that track these migrations. Start with these 6, right? It's very easy to understand. Non-buyer, one-time buyers, repeat buyers. At-risk buyer is a little bit different. You've got to think of it as like someone who's about to churn, which is a great example. Let's say, and we'll go into that in the next part, but like a churn buyer is someone who has not bought on their typical cadence of purchase. An at-risk buyer is predicting who is going to hit that and break off their cadence of buying. For example, if I go to the coffee shop every week on a Monday and every week, and then on week 8, I skip. And then on week 9, I skip. Now that's a churned buyer, right? I've gone off my cadence. So how do you predict that doesn't happen, right? So that's that type of migration. And then on top of these, you can layer on, and then just a lost buyer is someone who's just kind of either completely gone, or even an unsubscriber can be considered a lost buyer, especially if you can't market to them, right? So that's a lost buyer as well. And then, as I was saying, you can layer on different email engagement and browse behavior, category preferences, product preferences, channel preferences on top of this. But at least you have a buckets of buyers that you can then say, I want to focus my energies on these guys, and this is what I want to send to these guys. It doesn't have to be discount all the time, right?